Looks like Donald Trump and his mindless cult got punked again. Let's talk about it. Okay, so last night we learned that Judge Merchan, the trial court judge in the Trump hush money case, notified both sides, both the prosecution and the defense team, that the court received a message which could possibly indicate juror misconduct. Now, the message wasn't directed towards the court. It was received through their Facebook page, the court's Facebook page. And it was in the comments section, two people talking to each other. And one person claimed that their cousin is a juror in the Trump case, and that juror told their cousin that the jury was going to find Donald Trump guilty the next day. And in fact, the jury did find Donald Trump guilty the next day. And so the judge brought that message to the attention of both sides. Now, when we learned about this, the Trump cult kicked into high gear. They saw this as their opportunity to get their Orange God King cult leader off the hook. They think that he has to be declared innocent now, that there has to be a mistrial, and that these charges need to be dismissed, and all the Trump cult sycophants on Fox News were running with this, and even the Orange God King himself last night was bleeding out on his Truth Social platform that there needs to be a mistrial and all of that. Now, if this is true, if what this Facebook commenter said is true, that his cousin really is on the jury and really did tell him this, then that clearly would be a case of juror misconduct. Now, Judge Merchan was absolutely right to notify both sides of this as soon as he learned about this. Gives them the opportunity to investigate this on their own. I'm sure Judge Merchan will hold a hearing about this to get to the bottom of this, and if it's true, to take appropriate actions, which could include a mistrial. If there is a mistrial, what exactly happens at that point? I'll just discuss that in a minute. So it was right for Judge Merchan to do this and to take it seriously. However, this is almost certainly not real. There's lots of reasons to believe that this was a hoax. And as we learned more about this, we see that this almost certainly is a hoax, which of course the Trump cult fell for hook, line, and sinker. Now, first thing is, this is social media. It's Facebook. And they're commenting on the trial, the first trial of a former president in our nation's history. There's a lot of commentary on social media. A lot of it, complete and utter lies flying around. So that's the first reason to be skeptical about this, just the nature of the post itself. An anonymous person on Facebook. On top of that, this person, in their Facebook profile, calls themselves a professional shit poster. That is what this person claims to be, a professional shit poster. And what is it that has the Trump cult up in arms here? A shit post on Facebook from a guy who calls himself a professional shit poster. Now, if that weren't bad enough, and reason enough to be highly skeptical of this self-described professional shit poster, after this information broke last night, posted that this was all a hoax. And he said basically, hey dumbasses, did you not read my profile? I'm a professional shit poster. I lie on social media. That's what I do to get reactions out of people. And so he basically called everybody out who fell for this hoax and said, basically, you're all a bunch of dumbasses. So, this is almost certainly a hoax, unless he's lying about that, which I suppose is possible. And there will be an investigation. There will be a hearing about this, but this is a hoax. And the Trump cult, of course, fell for it. And I don't know why they're so eager to have a mistrial declared. I thought this guilty conviction, helps Donald Trump. I thought they're also very happy that he's a convicted felon now because, you know, it's going to help with fundraising, and it, you know, it's convincing even, you know, former Trump critics to now support him because of this sham trial witch hunt. So that's number one. But number two, it's funny enough that these people just fall for it, just with no further investigation, no information at all, just knowing that some anonymous guy who calls himself a professional shitposter posted this on Facebook. For them, that's proof enough, right? That's funny enough that they would fall for this, to think that this is real from a guy calling himself a professional shitposter. But what's even funnier is what these morons think that the remedy to this is. Even if this were true, like, they all believe it, of course, because they're stupid people. And so they believe that this is true and that there's juror misconduct here. But they also believe that as a result, not only is there going to be a mistrial, but Donald Trump is going to be declared innocent and the charges against him are going to be dismissed. That seems to be the consensus view on the idiot MAGA right. Now, look, this, as I said, this is almost certainly a hoax. But even if it turns out to be true, and as I said, that if it is true, then it's serious. It's juror misconduct, and that, you know, if there's a juror actually talking about the case in violation of the court's order, talking to outside people about this trial while it's going on, you know, that impairs the defendant's ability to get a fair trial. It's not fair. It's a violation of the rules, and it should be dealt with. But dismissing the charges against Donald Trump is not how this would be dealt with. At the absolute worst, what would happen is that a judge could declare a mistrial, and then Donald Trump goes back on trial. That's it. That's the worst thing that could happen from the prosecution's point of view, is a mistrial gets declared, and Donald Trump, who just spent 5 weeks in trial virtually every day, would have to go back on trial for another 5 or 6 weeks, at the conclusion of which he would almost certainly once again be a convicted felon. So anyway, we'll watch and we'll see, and certainly we want Donald Trump to be convicted in a fair process if in fact he's guilty, as a jury has already declared him to be guilty, and there really is no evidence whatsoever that there was juror misconduct. Some shit post from a professional shit poster on Facebook is not actually evidence. That might be reason to conduct an investigation into this to get to the bottom of it, but that in and of itself is certainly not any kind of evidence of juror misconduct. But we do want this to be a fair process for Donald Trump, and if there is juror misconduct, then it may be that a mistrial is the appropriate response. But there's not going to be a dismissal of charges, Trump cultists. Sorry to break the news to you. That's not how it works. All it means is that fat orange slob is going to have to sit through another 5 or 6 weeks of a criminal trial, and he's almost certainly going to be found guilty at the end of that too. So anyway, these people are just so predictably stupid. You almost feel bad for them, but I don't. All right, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Be well, and I'll talk to you again soon.